Quarantine hair continues. Day, I don't even know anymore, but it doesn't matter. I am never too proud, as much as people want to say the contrary, I'm not too proud to admit when I don't know something, which is why I did the video all about my SM7B being a waste of money for me and the reasons why I wanted it. But a lot of you guys told me that I was just ignorant and didn't know anything about this microphone and I was doing it all wrong, which is perfectly fine because that led to me taking the advice of my audience that now got me set up with the sound I always wanted. So today, I'm going to take you guys along for the ride on what I did, what I bought, on the advice of the audience, so that I now have the nice, rich radio sound I always wanted, with a lot of fun extras that I wasn't even expecting. The Elite XG270QG from ViewSonic breaks the traditional ugly appearance of gaming monitors by providing an ultra-clean design while still delivering gamers the features that they want most. Features like a 1 millisecond response time, IPS 165Hz overclock display, black brushed aluminum stand with tilt and swivel, mouse and keyboard cable anchors, and customizable subtle lighting. To learn more about the XG270GQ from ViewSonic and to see current pricing, click the link in the description below. Okay, so the SM7B, one of the first things my audience said I was doing wrong was I was talking too far away from it. And you gotta get all up on this thing like you're on a 9th date. Something like that. Like it's called the proximity effect apparently, and you gotta get really freaking close to it. And that was the first thing I started practicing, and it's actually amazing what this microphone does when you're close to it. And we will be hopping into OBS so you guys can see kind of the final effects that I got here. The other thing I did, a lot of you were just super triggered that I got that Yamaha G016 or whatever it was called. Rightfully so. The thing's a piece of crap, and it's not going to give me what I wanted because there's a lot more to sound and microphones in terms of the hardware setup that happens on the processing end that I just didn't even know about until I started researching it, and then got overwhelmed by people throwing too much information at me, and then getting mad, and then re-researching, and then finally purchasing a Go XLR. It's kind of funny. In my comments, a lot of people were like, Jake, go XLR, go XLR. I'm like, it is an XLR mic. What's wrong with you guys? I now know what they meant when I said Go XLR. It's from a company called TC Helicon. It is an amazing piece of hardware. Now, there's two versions of this. And yes, I know that I'm like 2 years late to the review on this thing. But as somebody that was 2 years late to carrying and went out and purchased it, I think it's something I want to share with the audience. There's two versions. There's the full version, like you see right here, which has the sample pad on the right, where you can program the buttons to play certain sounds. Like I've got one program just, to say, Michael Scott, that's what she said. And I've got, I think, a sad trombone, and I've got some fart noises, like all the typical immature stuff you would expect from me. And even the I like boats is recorded and stuck in there. Second of all, it's also got the voice effects, which you can on the fly adjust, and I'll show you all that sort of stuff. Oh, and this has motorized sliders too, so if you take a look at it, you can see I push the buttons, they're motorized. If you want the full version, that's gonna run you about 500 bucks. There's also a mini version, which is just basically this part on the left with the knobs, and they're not motorized. But you get all the software control that I'm about to show you of all the stuff you would see in a hardware rack handling all this stuff with pieces of hardware. So we're talking about De-Essers, we're talking about noise gates and limiters, we're talking about compressors, just a full EQ, all that sort of stuff.
All right, so I am sitting here now in OBS, and I've got my Go XLR going. I've got my SM7B sitting right here, and you can hear I've got some music and stuff going. And now watch this. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this down. This is not a full tutorial on how to use the Go XLR app. This is about how I got the sound that I did. Now, first things first, you do have a built-in noise gate, and I've got mine set pretty low. So the gate is going to mute your audio unless your audio goes louder than where you set this. That's at minus 50 dB. That's not a lot. The attenuation, I can never say that word. That's basically how much it's going to mute the audio down to, what volume percentage down to when the gate is active. I have it set to only go down to 20%, not to completely turn off. I don't want the hard cut off and turn on. So you can, let me show you what this is like. Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I guess it's not that bad, but yeah, see right there when I took my breath, the breath didn't completely undo the gate. So it was kind of like a really weird sound. I just have the attack set to 10 milliseconds, so it doesn't take long to activate. I have it set to 150 milliseconds on release. That's how long before it'll reactivate again after it no longer hears audio above minus 50 dB. Simple explanation on what the gate is. Now the equalizer, you could do simple stuff. Bass, mid, that's a lot of mid. Oh, that's an old-timey sounding radio almost. But yeah, I have mine, let's just put it at 1, that's fine. And then treble. But if you click this little side arrow, you can get a fine-tunable equalizer on there. So I've gone through here and kind of set it up for the sound that I want. Even adjusted the frequencies while monitoring, because I'm actually listening to myself right now, live monitoring with my headphones plugged into the back of the Go XLR. So I can hear myself, I'm not screaming, but I can also hear what the changes do without having to do a record, stop recording, and listen. I can hear it in real time. So I could see, like, I know 12.9 kilohertz is kind of where my S's sort of are. So I can like pull that all the way down. It makes it a little bit more warm. You can add a whole bunch. It sounds kind of ridiculous. The De-Esser is kind of doing its job. I'll show you guys in a second. So everyone's voice is different. You're going to need to go in there and tune it for the sound that you want. I think I have a very heavy mid-tone in my voice, and so I kind of pull it down slightly just because otherwise it sounds like you kind of saw here. It starts to sound a little old-timey, but that's fine. The compressor, this is an important one. This is the one that actually keeps you from peaking your mic and crackling and stuff or having uneven volume. It's going to lift the lows and reduce the highs in volume, not the frequency. So you guys can find other tutorials how to set the compressor. I've got mine set so I can be like, bah, bah, bah. I can talk normal like this, or I can get really loud. And you can see the audio levels roughly stay the same. Now the De-Esser, this is important. Watch if I turn it off. Sally went to the seashores to sell seashells. Now watch if I turn it on all the way. Sally went to the seashore something with S's. You see the difference? That's basically just designed to take the edge off of the S sounds or the De-Esser, which makes it a lot easier on your ears. I think I'm happy with that. It gives me that nice warm radio voice like I wanted. Now, a lot of you guys told me proximity effect is what you have to do with the microphone. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm really close to the microphone and I'm really making that compressor work for it. But, and one thing I want to point out with the Go XLR is, I'm gonna get a little music back here. There we go. When it comes to the live monitoring, I feel like it peaks and it cracks because I'm not hearing the compressor do its job, if that makes sense. I mean, I kind of am, but I'll hear crackling in the headphones if I get real close to it like this. But then when I listen back to the recording, I don't hear it. So I'm just kind of learning to ignore it, but it doesn't sound bad in the recording. So I just sort of leave it. The Go XLR will install not just its broadcast stream, but it has an audio stream for game, for music, for chat, for system. And you can change all that stuff and the volumes of each in the sliders right here on the screen, or you could set 4 of them to the physical equalizer right here on your desk. For instance, now I have a royalty stream music going right now on YouTube. So if I want to bring up the audio levels, check this out. I'm just going to do it right here. Oh, wow. Now you can hear it now. I don't really like that song. That song's dumb. Let's go to this song. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of chilly. Well, chill. Like chilly. I'm such a dad. I'm such a dad. If everyone's like, oh my God, Jay, the music levels are too loud, then I just pull it down. You can see on the app too, it actually like represents that. Or if I just want to mute it suddenly and be like, hey, let's have some real chat right now. Let's have some real talk. Real talk with Jay. And then I can unmute it. And then I can put it back where I want it. Now, there's another thing here I think that comes really in handy for this. And that is Discord. Because it installs its own chat stream. And if you go into Discord, what you can do is you can set the Discord settings to look at or only listen to the Go XLR's audio stream for chat, which then mixes down inside the mixer, goes back into a broadcast stream that gets sent back to OBS or your microphone output, and that mixes it all together. But you can still control the values of all that stuff with the knobs right here. So for instance, I've got Discord turned down. That's set to number 2 right here. This is my chat. If I turn this up and unmute it, now, Phil, I need you to be loud and obnoxious. Like, just be you. Okay, see, I don't like that. I'm gonna go ahead and mute him. There, I just pulled him down. Or if
Oh. Tell me to stop.
So we actually utilized this the other night in a live stream where we were playing around with this and we were, you know, having a few cocktails.
Oh God, it's going infinity window. No, what is happening? Ah, no, no.
Let's just say that things were getting loud and obnoxious. And there was times I wanted to talk to my chat, and there was times that Phil wanted to talk to his chat. Well, if Phil wanted to talk to his chat and mute me, he had to go into Discord and either turn the volume down or do it in the...
Actually click the button.
Okay, click the button. But do you want to click a button, or do you want to reach on your desk and just be like, bam, we can't hear Phil right now. Oh no, he's talking. His little name is lighting up, but I can't hear him. I can't hear him. I'm just talking. He stopped talking. He's oh, there he is talking again, but I can't hear him. So, all right, Phil, I'm gonna go ahead and close Discord. Thanks for helping with this video.
Okay, bye.
Give everyone your laugh. Everyone misses your laugh. Actually, it's so not the same
fake.
when it's.
I can't fake it.
That's what she said. Oh, I don't have my. Okay, so in that instance, we'll move on to the sample pad. All right, thanks, Phil. Right there was a perfect example of a that's what she said joke. So if I go over here to the sample pad, basically what that allows me to do, or the sampler, that allows me to make these buttons right here that you see do something that I want them to do. So let's say over here, I've got stuff that I've already saved. So I've got my air horn sound effect. We'll do that on top left. For top right. See how that also lit up now because it means that we assigned something to it. So for instance, Phil had just said something. I don't remember what it was anymore. I could have been like, that's what she said. See? So you can make it whatever you want. You can even record to this live. So if you're doing a live stream, you want to record something and then use it throughout your live stream, you can do that. And then you've got A, B, C, and all these different profiles and stuff that you can set them up to. I've got this one. Of course we need that. There we go. And then bottom left. I like boats. I like boats. So there's that, which is always fun. This slider on the very far left here, I didn't even show you. That's the actual live, like, and then you bring it back up. So you can control your mic. You can do a momentary mute with this button. So you can be talking when you let go, it'll unmute, or you can just push the mute, which will automatically bring down the slider. And there's one other thing that I really have fun with here, and this is the sound effects. So if I go ahead right now and I turn on sound effects, it doesn't sound any different because I have nothing changed. We can add a little bit of reverb. Ooh. So if we go in here to effects, we can even tell what kind of reverb do we want. It's a chapel. Ooh, that sounds spacious. It's an empty chapel. We got echo. Echo.
And then, of course, there's the fun ones. These are the ones that we all like to play with. So you could just
be sitting here in the middle of your live stream and someone says something, you'd be like,
this is the voice of God.
So, of course, that's the stuff you're only going to get with the main model. But at the end of the day, the thing that I cared about most is the way the mic sounds. And I think the Go XLR, for live streaming purposes and the way I'm using it, sounds absolutely amazing with the Go XLR. Like I said, I haven't tried it without the cloud lifter. It might make a difference, I'm not sure. But I'm really happy with the way this sounds. So, as you can see, we got all sorts of things that we can adjust. And also, you could set game sounds to these as well. So if you go over here to, and routing too, this is where you can turn on what sounds get played through what. So that's like, for instance, we've got inputs here. So I got chat mic. If I go see broadcast stream, shows everything. You can even make the headphones that I'm currently listening to right now not play system sounds. See, I unchecked that and you guys are still hearing it, but I can't hear it anymore. Broadcast mist, this is where you can turn off certain stuff. So we don't have a console plugged in. Why have that in? I don't have a line in. Why use that? I don't have a game in. Why use that? Although we'll leave game, because you could go into the audio settings and like Counter-Strike Go, I was playing the other night, and I went in there and set my sound to game. I can hear it because we're monitoring it right here on the routing, but then I can control the game volume with the slider. So if someone's like, I can't hear the game, you can turn it up. Or someone's like, your game's way too loud, you can turn it down without having to go in and screw with a bunch of things. And then obviously you can do your updates and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you for suggesting this. I, for somehow, over the last 2 years this device has been out, have never heard of it until this. And then I looked and I was embarrassed to see that Linus has talked about it. EPOS Vox has talked about it. And then obviously Harris has talked about it. Like, people have talked about this. So I've decided I want to talk about it and show you guys now that the SM7B was not a waste of money. I wasted money by not supporting it the way that I should have. So I put a link to the description in the description below, showing you guys a link to the product. It's an Amazon affiliate too. You guys can see what the prices are. Like I said, there's the mini, which has none of the stuff on the right. Like nothing over here exists, but you get all of this, which is the most important part: the noise gate, the equalizer, the compressor, and the de-esser. That's what's giving me the audio. The rest of
It is just fun. It's just fun. Like
you can do stuff like this. Check this out.
If I get it just right, bring down the reverb. This part's always fun. If I get it, I gotta get it just right. One more up. It's the Jedi. Oh no, run. Roger, Roger.
This is the perfect device for someone as immature as me. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.